Hi everybody, today I want to talk about how to draw a fantasy map. I am going to draw one on this table. It's a 6 foot by 6 foot table made out of silver poplar. The three tools I'm going to use is a pencil to rough it in, and then to go over it with an extra fine Sharpie, and then a fine point Sharpie. I start off with the pencil and I rough in the coastlines. I just drew in an island, and then after I get the coasts drawn in, then I go in and start drawing in hills and mountains. I add the some shading to them, and the shading kind of gives the appearance that the mountains start to pop off the table or off the surface. And then once you get your mountains in, then you know where to put in like a lake, you know where to put your forests in, you know where to put rivers, but your mountains are the first thing you kind of need to draw in my opinion. Also, you can see that I just drew in a couple little dots there. Those will be future cities. Once you kind of have it drawn in with pencil, then you can kind of step back and look. It's like, okay, does that work? And once you decide, yes, I like what I've got there, then I pull out the extra fine point Sharpie and I start to trace them in. And as you trace them in, I don't always trace the mountains or hills exactly or the forest exactly, but by doing so, you have an idea what to go and how to make it look better. It's always easier to trace things anyways. And then, if you do draw something in with pencil and you don't like it, you can just erase it. And it erases fine off of the wood. So it's kind of a fun process to go through and to do this. It's a little time consuming, but boy, it's all kinds of fun to think about all the things that could possibly happen on this little island. The next step, after I've got those done, is I grab the fine point Sharpie and I use that to draw in my coasts. And I wanted a heavy line to make my island pop off the wood table. I don't always draw in my mountains first. Sometimes I'll draw my rivers in first, like I did right here. But and the reason is you want to get your rivers and stuff in so that when you go to draw stuff in, you leave a little bit of a space and a gap around your rivers so you can draw your mountains kind of in between them, and the fingers of the rivers reach up into the hills to bring the water back, and then between those, that's what's called watersheds. And when you're drawing a fantasy map, you need to really think about how the environment works. If I've got a coast here, let's say this is kind of a similar coast to the Northwest in the United States, the Oregon, Washington area. It's going to be really green and wet. And when it hits these mountains, on the other side of those mountains, it's going to be drier. So one of the things that I plan on doing is having different colors of greens for the west side as I will the east side. When drawing on the eastern portion of the map, it's going to be drier, so I draw in the forest around the foothills or mountains, the higher areas, and along the riverways or the riparian corridors. Those areas are going to be wet. Those will sustain life of trees. The rest is going to be grasslands or sagebrush type areas. So that's thinking about the environment and how things really work in a system. This is part one of a series of videos I am going to produce on how to draw the map and the process I'm going to take with drawing this map on this table. Thank you for watching my video.